Hello everyone, welcome back into another episode of Last Protagonist Plays Axiom Verge 2. I hope you guys are doing well as always. On yesterday's stream, I had to relearn how to play the game because I forgot after the bit of the extended break. And I was going back through the areas that I hadn't fully explored and was trying to explore them more fully. It felt like I got progression graded, so to speak. And then I decided to go back into the pseudo-sojourn area where we met a mainframe console of sorts, which had Elizabeth Hammond and Indra's daughter allegedly trapped within, and they're in a different realm or something. It's pretty sketchy. We ran into Amashalama again, and she took the body of the Siuna mechanoid bioweapon, whatever it is, and she skedaddled out of there and is causing havoc somewhere else apparently. And we also discovered the ability to turn into mist and float around in cloud form. So today we're going to be continuing with going through the grate that was on the east side of the map, because it seems like that's where we need to go, and that area is just kind of always generally intriguing me, so we're going to be checking that out. So anyway, Tigris, Astanex, welcome back in, you two. How you both doing? I'm doing pretty well myself. So there is still the jungle area that I need to figure out how to get into the breach zone. So that does make me wonder if we're going to have a breach entrance power-up from wherever. And Sway, how's it going, bro? It's nice to see you again. Yeah, I fixed my technical difficulties. I had to essentially get a new computer. But how have you been, bro? Have you been streaming lately? I haven't really been able to tune in. Just being busy and whatnot. What am I doing? Oh yeah, going down. You still working on the Terraria? It's a good game. You've been away for 3 days, I see. Trying to fight enemies too much. Alright, so the last time we came in here, she said the Ansible's still on, so guess we should interact with that and get some new lore. So you had to drop your girl off for her NC trip and stayed on her family farm in North Carolina. Okay, cool. You'll be back tomorrow? Brand new PC? How much? I plead the 5th. Plead the 5th? Hold on. Hammond, are you there? Yes, thanks to you, I have circumvented the character limits of this terminal. Something's come up. Amashalama. She got the lost Siuna, but she wants to find the rest, which are somewhere below us. From what I know of them, they're very dangerous. At least the locals thought so. The Lamasu says she wants to use them to destroy the Ansur, the mother world, because she thinks it'll somehow free us. Is this a plausible thing? Oh god, no. Indra, that would literally mean the end of our universe. Even if, as Amashalama seems to think, this universe could survive. Even then, the places Samara and I are in would be forever disconnected. You would never see Samara again. I was starting to suspect as much. I think you understand then. Please don't let Amashalama do this. I'm about to set off a breach bomb. Apparently it's the only thing that can destroy the portal leading to the Ansur. So if you don't hear from me again... If I don't hear from you again, it's because you cease to exist. So don't let that happen. These look kind of sketchy. Right, they were not as sketchy as I thought. They're gonna hit me with a secret when I least expect it, aren't they? I have a feeling that this would be pretty good Metroid explosion gauntlet coming up in the future. Tigris, you're doing alright? You're actually awake? Indra, an upstream portal lies ahead. It leads to Ansur. I had the Siuna cache placed there to keep it secure, but this has since become exactly the place Amashalama needs to do the most damage. We were so afraid computers are going to be smarter than us. You should be able to hack the bomb with your nanites. Set a timer for 1 minute. That should be enough to get clear. After that, I will seal the doors. And then nobody can ever get to this cache again, right? Only a pattern mind could do that, and there are none left in this world. Uh-huh. I don't trust him. Trust I do not. Although the first game does a pretty good job of instilling that sense of distrust in these kind of things, doesn't it? Ooh. Is it a big boss time? So we got some injection liquids. This reminds me of something other than a soccer ball. Was there something like that in Flight of the Navigator? If anybody remembers that old movie. Kind of trippy. Enjoyed that movie as a kid. Kind of sad though, really. So these are for Siunas. Alright, gotta give the soccer ball some juice. Not so fast, Indra. She's oozing it! I knew I should have gone for the top ones first. We wouldn't want you destroying the portal now, would we? Mashalama. This portal leads to Ansur, the Mother World. Once I've obtained the remaining Siuna, we will destroy it. And in the process, destroy this world too. A matter of semantics. I will return it to its original form. It will become part of the pure realm of ideas once again. Those living in the current world will no longer exist to experience the destruction of it. Yeah, that's a bunch of nonsense I'm not about to let happen. Probably can't destroy her directly. I don't know if I'm making any progress or not. Oh, she's looking a little bit more red? Or not? Nah, probably not. She's angry! She got me. What the hell is this? Ah, there's contact damage finally? Now what do I do? Back at them all individually? No, this is green. So are they all green? Did I miss one? The first one? Nope. Meep meep. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I'm assuming this is wrong. Oh, did she stop it? Oh, so I have to hit her to unlock them? Okay, I think I see. First time I've used one of these, huh? So how do I get there without getting got? Oh, she got me! She's cheating! Enough! You don't think I know what you're trying to do? I was here when this bomb was made. What the? Intra, hack the bomb! You! Oh! And get the hell out of here! I'll keep her busy. I wonder if it's one of the other things we've got. My Goombin, what do I do? Wait, there's... Oh, that symbol is there the entire time. Why can't we tag team beat up this Yuna? I like the design of this Yuna. Kind of reminds me of Aatrox from Magic the Gathering. Wait, what? How do I set us up the bomb? Oh, she said hack it. I'm a Goomba. Doesn't make enough attention. It doesn't work. It's gonna be a trap. They never intended to let me out. Indra, you did it. Run, hurry. Oh my god. True to what the Lomasu said, the breach bomb completely obliterated the portal to Ansur. We had survived. Damu and myself. Or at least some version of myself. The other me, she died to protect everyone. I realized then that I didn't care about getting home anymore. So I promised Damu that no matter what happened, I'd find a way to fix him. To make him flesh and blood again. And I knew where I could find the technology for that. But ironically, I'd just blown up the only known way to get there. So I was going to need help. And so you've come to me, hoping I can help you reach this answer. By your own admission, that was Amashilama's goal. Are you sure you're completely free of her influence? Of course. That was where they stored their most advanced tech. I think you too would find it lucrative. But in order to get there, we will need a pattern mind. And Hammond, do you think she is there too? I don't pretend to have any idea where Hammond is. I tried contacting her using the Ansibles, but they're all dead now. But I feel like she and Samara are still around somewhere. Very well. I look forward to working with you, Indra. I don't think I can really call myself Indra anymore. The real Indra died saving us. I'm something else. Hey, Stella, welcome back in. Alright, so I was very surprised by this ending. I thought there was more to the game because I've missed a lot. So I might just need to do some exploration. Might need to look up to see if there's an alternate ending or anything. I don't know if you get an alternate ending for failing the Super Metroid run, but I did call it. I should have paid attention to what that chalice thing was. I guess that might have been the save thing. Oh, these are like the urns and stuff. I wonder if you could plug in the Sudrin or Rusalkan text from the first game and decipher the letters on these urns and whatnot. Hey, thanks for the GG, Tigris. And thanks for the congrats, Astanex. Is this the real end or Iga style fake end? That's a very good question. Like, I am still reeling after the ending of the first game. Like, it is such a cool experience being like, I have no idea if what I'm experiencing is even relevant in any capacity through this entire playthrough of this game. So I'm definitely on board for a third game if this is the end. And if this is the, like, full end, I do feel like a little bit disappointed. But I did get all the lore, so it might make some of the gaps get filled in. But it really does bother me to no end that other than Drushka, there were no sign of the Rusalkans, which makes me think we're all in a pattern mind dreamscape. But the fact that we got a letter from Trace and that the other NPCs were turning into demons is very troubling in many ways. Does make me wonder if there's like a speedrun component to this game where if you move fast enough, the other NPCs don't turn into the algorithmic demons. I guess that's supposed to be us in our new robotic form? Question mark. That's Indra now. Kind of figured because of the color palette, but it's kind of a metal design. It's kind of like a doll. We're Ranny now. And of course, you. Am I back? I might be back. Okay, I need to pay attention to this. Andrea, and I'm assuming Samara. Final stats. I probably had like 30 deaths this time. I feel like I died a lot less in this game than the other one. 93% completion. 99 map percent. 37. Okay, yeah. In 16 hours total. I'm pretty pleased with those stats. Oh, the YouTube chat was messed up this entire time. Are we back? Yes, okay. All right, so I did explore more of the map than I was expecting. I was figuring we had a couple more like truly hidden zones. So, because my internet like temporarily died, you guys might have missed it, but there was a mini cutscene at the end of the game where it looked like Indro's hugging a girl, which I'm assuming was supposed to, represent Samara. Oh yeah, I could just teleport. But of course, I don't really know exactly what I'm missing, although this area is still going to bother the absolute mess out of me. Guess I should go in there. How do I get back up there? I come in through the breach. Might be able to breach myself in here. It's kind of a funny sentence. Alright, anyway. It's going to be really interesting to see what secrets... so this is nothing. Are associated with those humanoid NPCs from earlier. forgot they can hit me as a cloud. Alright, so I can't bring the breach portal up here and go anywhere else. It's fine. I feel like most of the stuff that I missed at this point will be in like hidden blocks. That face thing over there still bothers me. So unless there's a secret way to access the breach directly, we might be out of luck. Tigger said Chip's yacht that the faces changed slightly in the later versions. What was different about it in the earlier builds? Although, well, damn it. I was going to say, one thing that I kind of disliked more about this game is having things like arrows be so much more prevalent in breach zones and pointing things out. It felt more like a video game, more like a dev thing, rather than a pseudo-fantastical science fiction-y type of world. Although, with all that being said, we always do have that potential lore explanation of it all being the Matrix. I never know. Hey, Without Horns, how's it going? Felt like there was more to this area that I could have explored. This area too. All of the areas. What's up with the helicopter? It's just chilling there? Not really sure if there's anything that I want to explore directly. Let's just go back over here, I guess. Because this is the only area that's really got me concerned. It's the only lead that I have where it feels like I've actually missed something. Because these are all just walls. We gotta do something with all these things, huh? Those things don't do anything, so I don't know why blinding them would be useful. Maybe it was a dev oversight to make this a breach area without being a breach area. Because it's got these openings, but the next rooms are completely closed off. There's no access from above or below. Hey, Meow Laser, welcome back. How you doing? What do I do here? That room's just a lie, isn't it? And we just had treasure here, if I recall. No secret entrances. Though I thought I got a secret entrance at one point and forgot. I should probably pay more attention. Oh, to my compass. I probably need to look at my compass in the last area. That jungle zone. I love the background in this area. It's a very pretty game. Definitely reminds me of the colonies that you'd see in something like Gundam. Hey, Chadwick, how's it going? Yeah, you got a new resident in one of your birdhouses, Northern Flicker. Super pretty bird. You got some stickers you ordered, and they look dope. Gonna slap them all over. Nice. Are you a big bird watcher or a birder? There, Meow. Big Sesame Street fan. It's a subtle thing, but the lore explains why the background here is how it is. I was getting tripped up by that wall specifically. So we can fall in here, that's right. I felt like there was something else that I probably should have gotten here and never did. Bird up. Did I ever come back and destroy that thing? I don't know if I did. Probably did, but I don't recall. Yeah, you built some boxes a couple years ago trying to attract kestrels. This is the first bird that moved in. Super pretty orange on the underside. My grandpa liked to watch birds and stuff a lot. Wait, no, I need to be in this realm. Well, we could fix that. You can make it. Wait. Duh. I'm pretty sure I got this, but I don't actually remember. Okay, I did. Pretty confident I made that eventually. I guess I don't fully recall. Watching birds is how you know you're getting old. Stella, you do it, but you don't hang outside much, though. I never actually made it up there. Okay. That was one of the ones that I was like, I'll come back for this later. But I did make it here. That's what it was. I think there's something in one of these breach areas that I needed to go up. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be outside as much if it wasn't for the dog. It's totally understandable. Honestly, that's kind of one of the benefits of having a dog. Is that whether you want to or not, many times you might be obligated to go out and get a little bit more exercise than you may have wanted to. I think I already said something about wanting to. Anyway. If not for your health, do it for theirs, which also helps your health. Should probably just go on a world tour in the Breach Realm or something. Well, I should really be more cognizant of breakable walls and whatnot. Hey, Robbie, welcome back. SNX, you're watching your cat sleep on your bed. He's got the covers all bunched up so he has a pillow. Nice. Chadwick, you consistently walk 5 miles a day, and the most time you've spent outside literally in years. Yeah, 5 miles is kind of a lot to be walking in terms of like a time investment. Do you speed walk like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle at all? Have I ever come down here? This was this zone, okay. You know, I don't really know if I ever spent time down here. So when I first came into this area, these things were kind of messing me up pretty badly. We love Katamari. How's that sound? I love the Katamari games. But I tend to play Saros next, although since I finished this one pretty quickly, might need a stall game or two. I'm thinking potentially of playing the Messenger next then. Because I kind of only recently learned about that game, but it actually looks badass as hell. I was surprised I hadn't heard of it. Fun fact, if I didn't find the save point in fast travel where I found it, it would have been in this room instead. Oh, the save points can vary? Huh. Oh, no, you mean the fast travel ability. I see, I see. So there's a little bit of redundancy with where you can pick up the power-ups. That's smart of the developers then, yeah. This zone really reminds me of the first area in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. How'd I do this? I just need to go back to the room I was in. I'm zoning out too much. Alright, so my compass reveals nothing. The compass, it does nothing! I like how that literally tells me nothing about its actual function. I think it's supposed to point me to upgrades? Or power-ups, I should say. But I don't know. Wait, it does the lightning thing whenever I attack. Oh, I thought I had to do the recoil to make it work. Robbie, you're 68% complete with Saints Row the Third. It's taking a long time. That's a really big game as far as I know. But I know very little about Saints Row games. Those felt like cartoonier Grand Theft Autos to me. At least that was the vibe that I got from the trailers and whatnot. Right, this is this room. Because I clipped the wall with my hook. That's funny. Wonder if you could break the game doing stuff like that. I don't know what I want to do. I don't feel like I'm going to make a ton of progress. Just spending a lot of time doing trial and error. Error. I ended up beating the game way faster than I was expecting tonight. Otherwise, I would have just done that last night. Yeah, Mouse PI looks really interesting, honestly. It's like the rubber band, Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie type style video game. Or rubber hose. How do you ever call that art style? Robbie, you're planning to get it in July? You don't know why physical games come late? It can take time printing stuff. There's just a lot of complications going on with trading and shipping with the way that things are going with tariffs and stuff like that. It's kind of all a mess. What are these things? Anyway. No, I have a body. I can switch to it. I've just been using the robot because you get a lot of mobility being able to hover around and grapple hook. Yeah. Being more comfortable with grappling as the robot was not on my bingo card for this game. Also, welcome back in, Logos. I don't remember if I said that. You were gonna get it, but IGN told you it's bad. Ah, yes. Infamous IGN with its, super cold takes. Already explored that, I recall. Is this Indra's original body, though? This one? No. Indra's quote-unquote original body, if she ever even really had one in this game, did show up in the final boss battle, and she did disable the final boss so that way we could win, essentially. Hey, Global, how's it going? I have come in here, right? Brother, how did I miss this? I think I probably got distracted with other things. Did I just go straight up? Rubber hose. Thank you, Asinex. Goku versus a huge heaping plate of food. Oh no, I'm so full I couldn't possibly eat another bite. Are you joking me? Look at all the filler episodes. Time was taken up by Goku eating some of the anime staples. One Piece did it. Dragon Ball did it. Bleach did it. God, there was this one episode of Bleach where it was super bad. Where they like wasted 2 minutes of somebody being surprised at how much Ichigo was eating after some thing that they did. It was one of the earlier seasons too, I think. I guess I did come back for all of that. And then that, right? Okay. We all that. Should probably come back this way. You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I should play Michael Jackson Moonwalker in celebration of the MJ movie. I'm trying to get my channel copyright struck. You're wondering if we're in the post game? Yes. We beat the game really early tonight on the stream. It happened really quick. I was surprised. Anime food scenes are iconic. Somewhat, you took up smoking and heavy drinking for a week after playing Yakuza 0. I'm assuming you meant to say somehow. Probably not a good thing, but fun memories. I will say, though, that Ghibli food just kind of hits different. Logos, did you end up watching one of the Ghibli films that we were talking about last night, or no? Not yet. Too addicted to a specific game? Don't out you? Uh-huh. Don't out you, huh? Wait a second. Why is there a spot there? Oh. Would I be able to pull this from anywhere, though? No, this is an exit-only type portal, isn't it? Let's do some more searching. Oh yeah, I can't turn back into Ninja to destroy walls. Global comments are appearing instantly in my feed now. You hear me responding more or less as soon as you hit send, which is new. Yeah, it was weird. So when I opened up my stream today, there wasn't like a 10-second YouTube delay for whatever reason. Which, I don't know, maybe I screwed up my stream settings in the past and I didn't have it on ultra low latency. Kind of hard to say. Oh wait, it just happens automatically. I don't need to charge it up anymore. Is that the difference? Took me this long to realize. Stella, you keep getting lag, but you're pretty sure that's you. In my general experience, for whatever reason, there is always a bit of a desync with YouTube. If you ever try to watch two streams from the same source between like Twitch and YouTube, after a while, YouTube just kind of naturally falls behind. So sometimes I'll periodically put YouTube to double speed to try to get back to quote-unquote live. Alright, so I guess that broken block over there is just to troll me. Why did I need to come this way? I think I already got everything I needed. I might just start looking things up now. There's a lot less delay. I wonder if it's just a hardware difference, which would be kind of crazy to me, which wouldn't make much sense, but who knows. Where do I go? No, what's with this fire thing? Is it just fire? Yep, seems like it. Stepping on the fire hurt. This just brought me back to where Drushka was. Wait. I should have been paying attention to the bottom left of the thing. So, items and map. So I can at least look for where the missing area is. Can I teleport out of the boss fight? Probably, right? Wait, this? What is this? Oh, this is the final area? Okay. It's one big area. For now, I want to try to complete the map. Oh, okay. Still, a lot of people talk about metabolism slowing down, and you don't know if you've had that happen yet. You don't eat like you did as a teenager, but you'd probably throw up if you did. But don't you also forget to eat? Is that even fair? Any interest in Pragmata? You were wary about all the content creators you trust seem to love it. I honestly didn't really have too much of an interest in it, but I did get a free game code of it. I might actually have 2 game codes. I need to figure out that situation, and if I do have an extra game code, I'll probably just give it to somebody in the chat like one of the regulars, just, to give back. Pragmata seemed like one of those games where the gameplay could be good or it could be ass, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to tell unless there was a demo or something. And none of the footage that I saw for it really had me like salivating, which isn't to say that it looked bad or anything, but I've also heard that apparently Pragmata is making people freak out. I don't know why, but if I had to guess, it probably has to do with pedophilia or fears of pedophilia. Because I honestly haven't seen anything else about the game to give me an indicator one way or another why people would be freaking out about it. Stella, the problem you associate with people saying their metabolism slow down is them complaining about gaining weight. I think it's a little bit of a two-pronged issue, because as you do get older, your metabolism does kind of slow down, but also people tend to become more sedentary for a number of reasons. One of that could just be, stress and lifestyle, and stress contributing to weight gain generically. But also with the more lifestyle changes, the older you get, the longer your recovery period becomes. So you just can't be as active, generally speaking, as you could while you were younger. And then to take things a step further with like lifestyle differences, it's harder to do more things like intramural sports the older you get, just because sometimes it can be hard finding a group to do stuff like that naturally. Logos, you're hoping for a Sneak Mega Man reboot, but it ended up being a dad simulator? Oh, with Pragmata? Dad Space? Oh, instead of Dead Space, I see. Chadwick, once you're just a full-on adult, the body's no longer using vast amounts of energy for growth. Yeah, oh yeah, that's also a good point. But I guess when people talk about their metabolism slowing down, they tend to do so more in their later 30s and 40s. Or I guess people, well, that's kind of when people harp on about it. Then they tell youths that their metabolism will slow down when they're in their teens and early 20s. But that is true. You're not growing, so energy that would have been going toward that probably does get redirected for storing all that energy. Logos, both the left and right are politicizing the game too much. Oh, really? Stella, you restarted your phone, that fixed the lag? Nice. Chadwick, you walk 3 miles and it only burns 300 calories. We're incredibly efficient machines. Well, one of the craziest things is that running does not burn nearly as many calories per effort exerted as walking does. Which, let me try to rephrase that so it doesn't make it sound like I'm saying you burn more calories from walking than you do running, which is not true. But in terms of efficiency, the amount of effort that it would take you to walk 3 miles versus running 3 miles, for that effort, you are consuming trying to think of my phrasing here. It's not nearly as taxing to walk 3 miles, but you're burning almost a comparable amount of energy to running. But of course, that's just talking about effort exerted and not necessarily the time that it takes to do that, because running 3 miles, you save a hell lot of time than walking it. Well, maybe I shouldn't say you. I don't know what everybody's fitness levels are at, and that could vary wildly by the individual. What is making this stuff rain? I wonder if this is all just interconnected and that's the issue. Oh yeah, this spot. It always felt like there should have been something lower. No? Without horns, you haven't heard anybody freaking out about Pragmata? I've seen a couple thumbnails, and I'm like, oh god, of course. But that's about the extent of it. But of course, I mean, there's always reactionary content creators where they're trying to, what's the word? Over-sensationalize? Or sensationalize everything. Or just creatures optimized to walk really long distances. Not just walk them, but run them as well. Like, we're persistence runners. It's kind of crazy to think, like, how fast a rabbit is. And the preferred method of hunting them for thousands upon thousands of years is literally just running them down until their hearts gave out. And, or potentially sniping them with something like a pointy stick. Is that the game where a lot of dudes are being really gross about the little girl character? I'm assuming so. I don't know how they're being gross, but I mean, can you really be surprised this day and age anymore? Anyway, Global, have you started to play Pragmata, or are you just asking in general? Why do I have to fight every enemy? It's my problem. It's my curse. Wait, what was up with that big old fly? Done by Drushka. I feel like that should be the Lamasu's heart or something. What's the oldest dead? Don't have to not be surprised to still be disgusted. True. Logo's the right one to prop Diana up as some symbol of promoting white birth rates when you doubt the game even hints at such rhetoric. Oh god. So screwed up trying to find the secret area here. So I guess I just need to drop down somewhere down there, perhaps? The Lefts responded in kind by calling the right and all who enjoy the gaming as redacteds. It's a Japanese game. The funny thing about stuff like that is, maybe I shouldn't say funny. Funny in like the absurd, in the sense of absurd, about like a lot of white supremacists and fascists and stuff like that is just how many of them unironically enjoy Japanese slice of life anime, as though it portrays some idealized version of a world that they want to live in. And for those wondering what I mean by that, like, part of the reason why that's so funny is because if there are legitimate supremacists, it's a little bit ironic that they are essentially fetishizing a fake way of life created by a race or group of people that is different than their own. And it just kind of shows, to me at least, that people are people wherever they are. The conversation around it's been a poop show, but the game itself seems wholesome, fun, and devoid of heavy political rhetoric. That's the neat thing. Everything's political. But I don't want to stray too much into politics and whatnot. It's just a little bit unfortunate that people can be so weird and up in arms about things. Which isn't to necessarily downplay any of what's going on with the discussion around Pragmata, because I'm way out of the loop there. I can pull the thing. Wait. Oh, maybe I used the wrong one. Okay, so they don't carry over between things. Okay. So it is this area where I'm actually missing something. Now, if I were missing something in this area, where would it be? I'd have to assume somewhere around all of this, I guess, huh? But it can't be too big of an area because we had a 99. I'm losing it. Let's go. Let's just get out of here. I could have just left this way. I'm dumb. It's a case of people latching onto a game where they can score some points in the culture war. Yeah. It's not even like Hogwarts Legacy or the Ghost of Yote. They had to crash out over Yote? Oh yeah, absolutely. The main protagonist was black. So people definitely lost their minds, even though he is based off of an historical figure. Was I thinking? What was I just thinking of getting? Oh, this one. This one. This spot. This spot. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I think I just overlooked that from the time gap and whatnot. Oh, wait, Yote was the woman one? I thought Yote had Yasuke, or whatever his name is. What was the deal with this lamprey thingy? I did come in here before, though. No, I didn't. I did not go into this room specifically. Okay. So was I literally just missing this room as far as maps are concerned? It does say I have all the items here. Somehow. I'm thinking of Assassin's Creed. Yote was the lady. Oh, right. Ghost of Yote. Not Sushi Ghost. Okay, yeah. I totally forgot. True. Black Dude is Assassin's Creed. I mean, is it really that different? What's left for this game? Heard I did the final boss? Correct. I did do the final boss. So I was just kind of looking for all the areas that I hadn't fully explored, which I might have just accomplished. So now I'm just trying to complete the map in this final boss room, and then I'm going to start looking things up to see if there's anything super crazy that I missed, and like some of the lore and stuff. But we're pretty much done, I think. And I will consider spoiler mode off, I think. Kind of don't want to do the boss just to know if I've completed the game, but oh well, maybe I'll do it again. I like how I learned nothing and just went for the thing, the bottom one instead of the top one again. So I wanted to play Saros next, but that's not going to come out for like another week. So I might work on playing in the Messenger or something else short instead. Maybe a game that I've already played. Maybe community type game. I don't know. What a jerk! Oh yeah, I can't hover. You chill. Wait, what happens if I die this time? I guess we could learn. Maybe leaving was a mistake. VR graph on King's Play? What the hell is VR graph? There's this short game on sale called Persona 5 Royal. It's on Steam at 60% off. Ah, yes. You know, I've played a tiny bit of that game. I beat the tutorial, so I had about 50 hours in it. It's sad because I really like the Mega 10 games, but I feel like Persona 5 had a lot of pacing issues, and I did not enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Alright, we're gonna die. That's gonna happen. We've been breached. Oh. Catherine? I've seen Catherine. I feel like that's a little bit complex for my brain, especially while streaming. The later part of the game paces better? I don't think so. Maybe Royale is better, but definitely not true to, like, I don't know, like having to what's the word, not micromanage, but essentially manage all the play dates and stuff kind of stressed me out. If I didn't like the first 3 palaces, I wasn't going to withstand the Hawaii trip in the Haru arc. Each palace was fine. So for me, the issues weren't necessarily going through the dungeons as much as it was like juggling the daily life simulator on top of the super heavy dialogue expository dumps, which would take hours at a time for each little thing. So it felt like you'd spend an hour or two like listening to dialogue, then 3 hours doing like the daily life stuff to like manage life around the dialogue stuff that was happening in between that sometimes, and then you'd spend like 8 hours in the dungeon doing some combat, then some more dialogue stuff, but then you have to like leave and then come back. It's just, the pacing just felt really bad to me, which feels bad because I really enjoyed Persona 1. I really enjoyed Persona 4. I enjoyed the old Mega 10 games for like the Super Famicom and whatnot, but alas. Right. So since we missed it the first time, potentially, let's pay a little bit more attention to the post-credit scene with Indra and something else. I haven't played Persona 3? No, I've not played Persona 3. I need to go back and play both versions of Persona 2. And I also have not played Persona 3 Reloaded either. And I was just disinterested in Metaphor Fantasio. I don't like the +1 system that got introduced in the later Persona games. It trivializes combat, even on the higher difficulties. Robbie, you've never played any Persona before? Hey, there's that big fly thing, right? Or maybe that's different. If you like dungeon crawlers, they're really good ones. I feel like Persona 5 is probably a good intro to RPGs for people who haven't really played them before. Which is probably why Persona 5 broke out as heavily as it did. That's the drone? Oh, really? I guess that makes sense. She kind of reminds me of Katrushka. The Rusalki. The one that was killed. Persona 5 Royale gets super quick and easy once you hit the Desert Palace. But how long does it take to get to that point? Like 80 hours? Oh yeah, and then I forgot to complain about the weird extraneous dungeon delving system beyond the normal castle dungeon things. Fourth one? Oh, okay. Wait, she said she changed her name, right? Did she say what she changed her name to? Guess I should have paid a little bit more attention. Alright, so here we go. I guess Hammond is supposed to be behind her? Can I move? No? No! Damn it! I was trying to speed it up, not end it. I don't know if I have 100%. I'm going to assume I do. Oh, it's right there. God, I could have just gone to the main menu. Either way, seeing the post-credit scene is still what I wanted to see. That's Hammond, I can tell by her haircut. Au contraire, I can't tell, but you can. Alright, cool. Alright, so we got 100% of the map unlocked without cheating, which is pretty good. 94% is really good. I did a lot better than the first game, I think. Because we're at 89 or something like that, right? No, the first time around is less... Well, I didn't mean to end the game. It just kind of happened the first time around. Because I needed to... what's the word? Stall and go back and get the last ones for the post-credit cutscene. Hammond was shown a few times in Axiom Verge 1. Okay, thank you. Hammond was trying to reunite with her dead daughter. Guess she succeeds. Right, let me look this stuff up. Alright, so let's say the spoiler policy is off. How do I unpin? Oh, duh. Found it. Was Hammond Trace's partner then? I think so, but I don't remember. I'm sure Tigris or Asenex can elucidate. You guys want me to play a rhythm game? I've never played Clone Hero. I used to major in Guitar Hero in college. What was I just doing? Oh, yeah. Axiom Verge 2 endings. To view the extra scene, you need to finish the game with at least 80% of the total items collected. I got it! When the credits start rolling, you need to press the pause button. The screen will glitch and it will show us a short scene with what seems to be Samara and Dr. Hammond in an open field. Oh, I didn't have to press pause, I don't think. Hey, Zave, how's it going? Thank you. Hammond made the portal thing because she was promised a way to find her dead daughter. She failed, you followed, you succeed. Okay. Tigris says, Hammond was Trace's co-worker at the lab that went explodey. Then she stuck with Trace and helped document all his theories after the accident while he was recovering and blinded. Did I beat Through the Fire and the Flames in Guitar Hero 3 or Freebird in 2? I definitely beat Through the Fire and the Flames in Guitar Hero 3. I definitely played Freebird. I don't remember if I beat it, because I liked the mechanics in 3, although 3 was definitively easier. The hammer-on system was probably too easy, so 2 is probably like the better design in general, but I didn't play nearly as much of Guitar Hero 2 as 3. But I've also beaten, what's it called? Green Grass and High Tides in Rock Band, which isn't nearly as hard. But I also beat Jawbreaker in Rock Band. Rock Band, I think, was harder than Guitar Hero 3. You had to be more precise with hammer-ons and stuff. Play Parappa the Rappa? Chadwick, bummer. Nobody feels as strongly about crunchy pickles as you. Sorry, brother. All right. I do actually have the drum kit for Rock Band, but the Rock Band that I have the drum kit for, like the song selection kind of sucked for it, honestly. And I didn't want to spend $1,000 on DLC to play more decent songs. So there's one thing that I wanted to check in the lore. Which one is the Trace one? Was it this one? Maybe the green ones are all about Indra's life before. Okay, so I just learned that the emergence is where Drushka is when I was looking up the secret info on the ending. Upon our discovery of the emergence, I think the answer must be an emphatic no. Oh, right, because she's dipping out to slow down her rate of aging while everybody else speeds up. Drushka is green. What the hell? I guess I don't understand the groupings of these. So I guess perhaps the Udug are supposed to be the Rusalki? I feel like this would be fun to parse through, but maybe not the best content for stream. Is Spadex a real word? What the hell? Define Spadex. A spadix is a type of inflorescence, aka flower cluster, characterized by a fleshy or succulent spike that bears numerous small, crowded flowers, usually enclosed within or subtended by a leaf-like bract called a spathe. Makes sense. Elutil. The Elutil was a Mashalama in the before times, right? I'm pretty sure. Mother has still not returned. Has she no love for her own children? Or Adlugal? Okay. Manipulating the invisible lattice, which is the center of the Udug's power, requires a mental facility beyond the simple computing machines we have been using, and the Lamassu is not forthcoming with solutions. Oh yeah, so it sounds like the Udug are indeed the Rusalki. Alright, Ask Next, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us, and you take care. Irikar. Answer used us as tools to achieve its ends because it has little agency of its own. It is time for us to take our rightful place as lords of our own lands. We must march on Ansur. We must claim the Siuna, and if necessary, we must burn it all to the ground for Kiangir. Megeshkatil on behalf of Amashalama. Elotil had the older brother, who was Ludari. So Ludari is the Amish Lama's brother. When they pushed into the caverns of the Udug, they were shocked to find a world as dark as it was vast. Blem Anna, Lord of the Kiengir and King of all the land. Okay. Shashkala and Gamekala. Let me look at my skill thingies. But I don't seem to have those guys. Unless their names change, which is possible. Yep, the Amish Llama. Who's the heretic again? Elotil, at every instant of time, every possible moment where one might observe a thing occurring, there should be a limitless possibility for what can then come. We can conceive of this. Outside of our world, Kiengir is another world, a bigger world, Ansur. From the moment we observed its existence, we became chained to it. The things we have learned cannot be unlearned. The only path forward is as a slave to the mother. Or is it? See, this makes me think the Udug are supposed to be people because, what are they called? Rusalki have their machine components disrupted by the breach. Yeah, they're casual about the danger of the storms. Rod Lugal. Meow, this game's dumb. You can't wait for Barbie Horse Adventures. Rod Lugal. To my brother Ludari. Okay, so this is from Amish Lama. I've accepted the NC's offer to become an arm. I know you were against this. Trust me, I have no interest in the Udug War myself, but I felt I had no choice. Over the years, it has become clear to me that the supposed celestial hierarchy represented by the Lamasu is a farce. Ansur, which it explains as our mother, is a shackle, or rather a giant stone that we are shackled to, dragging us into the depths. There is no Irkala. After death there is nothing, not even blackness. The arms and wielders, at least, have the potential for eternal life, They say only a storm bomb can fully destroy them. Once the ceremony is complete, I will be joined with Mageshkatil, a like-minded scholar from our group. They will anoint me Amashalama after the goddess. Lamasu claims that understanding antennas is taboo. Ugu. Tigris, you're sure I could piece the lore things together from both games that we can fill in some of the gaps if needed? Appreciate that. I do want to try to look at some of this stuff myself a bit more, which might be a little bit disappointing because I'm not going to spend like a ton of time on this on stream at least. I feel like I would need to cross-reference both games to get a bit of a better picture here. The weird thing is, like, the war with the Udug sounds like it could be ancient, but we've been told so many times that the flow of time flows differently here that it could have been Hammond Corp and whatnot that this stuff is all referencing. The Sayuna hailed once as a triumphant way to free ourselves from our unkind and bipartite method of waging war. The lifting arms to warriors themselves and not mere tools to be later discarded are being locked away in Ansur. Can't wait for my 10-minute lore video on it. I don't know. Udari. So there's an arm that reforms itself like nothing happens, even with storm bombs. That might be us. Well, no, because it's supposed to have pre-existed Amashalama. Right, so I might be missing some of the lore. Letter from Trace. Okay, so it's a white one. Reply, your idea about the afterlife. I think we could actually get proof one way or the other, but the person doing the experiment would need to be dead, and I've studied all our research for it to work. I hope to talk more about this later. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Damn it. We're not given the info! Kazakhs have a submarine, so they're coming out of the water, perhaps? Tigris, the eternal arm that we just read, is one of the more chilling notes to consider in the context of the game. Yeah. Makes me think it also shouldn't be the child one either. The Kazakhs aren't dressed the same. They've automatic weapons and fired. If I didn't hear them shouting in Russian, I would have thought they were different people entirely. So they were speaking Russian? Does make me think the Kazakhs are seen as the Udug by the Kiernians. But one of the things that bothers me is that one of these Kiernan notes referenced them as being humans. Which, if we're all peoples from different worlds, they shouldn't be humans, right? But of course, this is all the Matrix, so it doesn't matter. Sagaga are the Kiernans. Kiengirans, whatever. The Sagaga referenced the multiple worlds as being the fruit of a tree. I initially took this to be purely figurative, but they often mention parts of the structure, such as the Spadix or Ansur, as if there are locations one can visit. I haven't seen mention of parts like the roots or leaves in this context, but it makes me wonder how far the metaphor carries. Unime? Find a scry in the filter. Weird. Time to look up to see what notes are missing. That was Trace's last name? What, Escabrower or whatever his name was? Whoops. Eskenbrenner. Oh, okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, I forgot that as well. I don't remember that coming up at all. Chadwick, you love your laptop being broken. You unplugged and killed it. You're so tired of this, bro. I feel you. Trace is a 90s name? So we have 2 newspapers, 4 green ones, got those, 11 earthlings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 11. 20 clay tablets. 5, 9, 10, 12, 15, 18, 20. Wait, so I've gotten all the notes? Damn it, I feel like we're missing 3 that could make it all tie together super easily. My lovely. I have a new dream for you. I think you will like this one. It starts with your death and goes on from there. Return to my embrace. I've missed killing you. Veruska, this note might be aimed at Araka. Wait, Araka's the slug lady? How? When did we learn that? Oh, the Steam Community Market shows there's a trading card? Damn. It's rough. Trace has to be his screen name. Trace, Buzz, Lance, Flip, Trip, Mark. I feel like Mark is a little bit older than a 90s name, but sure. Alright, so we've read all of the lore in this game. I haven't really pieced together the full picture. I also want to like double check the location names of the first game as well as this one. Not that I'm sure I'll discover anything super important about it, but... Anuna... Ebbe... Chaguna? Irakar. This is where they were fighting, and that's where the tanks were, the Udug. Oh no, they're fighting the Irakarians. Before the Udug came, or I don't even know. Tigris, can you confirm who exactly the Udug are, or were? What's the Diviner's Gem even do? The Udug are the beings living in the breach. But would that make them the Earthlings? Diviner's Gem blinks when you're near upgrades and stuff. Okay. The outsider. I'm so tired of her schemes. If not for her, we wouldn't even be in this predicament. And now this ridiculous plan. Aside from Drushka's obvious interest in her, we have no indication she's even telling the truth. We don't know where she is from or even which strain she is. She seems to have greater capabilities than she admits. Should I have let you kill her when I had the chance? I do not know what is right anymore. I wonder if the outsider's us. It's either us or Hammond, but it shouldn't be Hammond. The note seems to be talking about Ophelia, which is implied to be Indra after the events of Axiom Verge 2. Bro, if they thought this far out ahead at making the first game, that's pretty crazy. Well, I guess they didn't necessarily have to, but still. Reply. You simply must stop tempting me with such delectable musings. It is with great restraint that I say respect your original decision. She may be playing puppet master, but for now we need her. Once we got what we came for, let her be mine, please. And Verusko wants her, which could be us, and this could be the whole dream reference. What the hell's Ophelia, though? Tiggish, you watched my playthrough of Axiom Verge 1, and you just remembered to say this. The soundtrack to 1 was available on vinyl, but was extremely limited in print. I think somebody had mentioned that in the chat. I don't know if I read it out loud, but that does ring a bell. Oh yeah, the desert chanting song? We should go to another spot. I'm like looking up lore and stuff that you guys can't see because I'm on the PS5. Did this place have cool music? Oh, somebody mentioned they were upset that it wasn't released on vinyl. Oh, okay, cool. Chadwick, you could see why somebody would want this soundtrack. Yeah, I guess if you get a collector's edition of a game... Well, I guess that doesn't have to be on a vinyl, but... So these things are changing the flow of time. Whereas global, because ears are delicately tuned machines. Chadwick, you doubt vinyl would improve the experience? I do tend to think that vinyl enjoyers might be a little bit oblivious to the fact that they're probably just getting ripped MP3s, not even FLACs, put into vinyl form. But that could be a secret between us. Ophelia. Ophelia is the one... Oh, bro, that totally does look like a Indra. It's like a dead ringer. Holy crap. For the final thing. Ophelia is the Rusalka who originally came up with the plan to create a clone of Trace in order to combat Athedos. She has a benevolent demeanor, apologizing to Trace, and Elsinova, in her anger, used the nanogates to kill Trace for not agreeing to kill Athedos. Ophelia can speak in plain, unbroken English. So that's actually really cool, because if Indra, as a human, becomes a Rusalki, was always a Rusalki. Damn it, the whole Veruska angle with the pattern mind created worlds or whatever, they're probably not pattern mind, but the dream worlds to muck things up really messes this narrative. How did we get this body again? The kid. Then the kid doesn't get mentioned again at all. Damu? She said she wanted to give Damu a body. Wait, that's her desire at the end of this game. To give Damu a body, right? His own flesh and blood. So this could directly tie into the lore of Axiom Verge 1 a lot more as well. This is really cool how kind of recursive the games are being. It's a hell of a lot more depth than I was expecting, even for a sequel. Yeah, honestly, like, the lore of these games is as rich in some ways as the Dark Souls games, but it's not quite as broad in its scope in some ways. But that's just because there's so many fewer items in comparison, perhaps. And the themes are perhaps a bit more... what's the word? Not limited, but like compact. That's probably the better way to describe it. There's global. It depends. Some people are particular about the type of media that they put on vinyl. However, vinyl quality is significantly less than a digital file. Yeah. Especially the more you play it. We're just transferring digital files from the jump. Well, yeah, if you feel like your bass is coming through with the vinyl better, that sounds kind of like a stereo equalizing issue. Like, you could adjust so much with stereo equalizers or digital equalizers. You can kind of fine-tune that experience and fit the acoustics of your room, which you could probably do with vinyl as well. But I mean, if what you're getting on the vinyl comes from the digital thing, then that's a different story. Yeah, it's not like soundtracks or music tracks not being filtered through gramophones anymore, right? Hot off the presses. I didn't just kill Kachahaska's body, I used the Gatebreaker. We have a fresh set of nanogates to do with whatever we please. Given what we recently learned about the Sojourn Rebirth Chamber, we could use this to our advantage. In fact, it may be better than my original plan. We would control him. Kachahaska. Siuna. And Newman. Anuman. Allows you to infect enemies and objects to modify their behavior. Did I ever try to hack the demons? I think I did, and I couldn't do anything. So strange. Without horns, we couldn't hack the demons, which implies they're mostly biological, you guess? Yeah, either that or they're failed clones. Yeah, if you're making music entirely on a computer, you're doing it wrong anyway. I think that's how most people are doing it now. It's easier for, what do you call it? Publication. Andrew's a fan of Shakespeare. Oh, and they're trying to take like Ophelia. Was she in Hamlet or Othello? I don't remember. Oh, puppy. I think she's Hamlet's girl. Wait, Ophelia used the scry? The existence of Drushka as this kind of humanoid person that we see is very interesting. But Drushka also does resemble the Siuna. Don't feel like I'm going to make a ton of progress without just like shutting up and like looking into this or... Ow. All that as well. Pretty much all we have left is just finding the power upgrades, which is kind of irrelevant. I did feel like combat in this game was significantly easier for the most part. Or more forgiving in some ways. Which, I don't know, it was felt harder at the beginning. But I also feel like I just died a lot less, which is true because I only had 37 deaths compared to the 80 or so. Well, I guess in the first Axiom Verge, a lot of my deaths were just like me trying to kill a few of the demons, perhaps a little bit early, and being stubborn about it. Tigris, may you ask a leading question? Go for it. We're beyond the point of spoilers now. How many submarines? Yellow. If there were submarines in the background, I don't recall actually seeing them. But I know there was talks of at least one in the Hammond thingy. It's mentioned in a note. Was it Ernest? Half a dozen, so 6. You know, the other Vasalki having Slavic names makes sense. If they came all from humans. Why 6? That's a good question. It's very leading probably, but I'm not picking up what you're leading me toward. Which is probably a good thing. I know the Udug are said to have attacked from the water. The Rusalki are also said to have come from the water. But we also have tanks here, so I just kind of took it as a matter of course that it was all pertaining to, what do we call it? Just exploration of this world. Are there 6 Rusalki? That's a good question. 6, 7, 8. It's a shame we can't fix this portal. I don't remember how many NPCs we ran into. There might have been 6. Oh yeah, that was what I wanted to look up. I knew there was something I was forgetting, which is why I didn't end it. Axiom Verge, 2 NPCs turning into demons. Transformation process has to do with time spent in breach. I wonder if the speedrunning thing is different. Time passes differently in the breach. The idea may be that time is patching much more quickly outside at the moment. I could see that. That's going to be the biggest minor mind explosion? I don't know. This whole pattern mine business is troublesome. Because in my ideas, I kind of thought that the pattern mines would refer to the Rusalki because they're like robots. So they'd have mines that are essentially made of algorithmic patterns. But perhaps that might not be the case. Although Hammond is looking for a pattern mine, but Ophelia's looking for a pattern mine. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of the lore that's tied between the two games that you really need to sift through. Nikes. Udug means demon in the first game. That's right, isn't it? I probably wouldn't have even remembered that. I had to play the two games right after each other. Although maybe I would have. Let me look back at the Axiom Verge 1 notes, right? That would have been in... what do we call it? One of the journal Zidors? Ruku? Nope, not this one. We know that the mind, like Euclid's algorithm, is eternal, existing equally across all universes in which it appears. It can never perceive its own demise, rather, the instances which do not cease carry on for those that do. For most of us, this happens without us being any the wiser. What of Uruku? This is not so much death as a deadly aberrant dementia. The algorithm itself is twisted, changing from one moment to the next. There's not any one point at which the Athetos ends and Uruku begins, simply a continuum of torment. So there is a good possibility that the ending cutscene could be a death of the true Indra, but that doesn't really matter because she gets carried on as Ophelia or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's not what I was looking for. Maybe transcription? I am Talal. What are you doing here? Udug Hol. What does that mean? Demon. Is Talal an Udug Hol? What is Talal? A3. Could the A stand for arm and not algorithm? I don't know. A dug hole. Pattern minds are humanoids who can natively understand and safely traverse the breach without being obliterated by it. So not every human can do that? Okay. I just thought that was a property of humans in general. Like, I was under the impression that the Kiernans or the Sudrins were just like humanoid analogs on other dimensions. And the only things which couldn't traverse the breaches were Rusalki specifically. Because the breach was meant to contain them. Which is why I've not liked how the drone has been able to go through the breach in this game. Also, what whip did Indra have? Like, what the hell? How come we don't have anything like that? When she fought the Siuna. I feel like we're getting matrixed super hard in this game. Hidden some of our more sensitive items in the breach pockets appearing here and there. The sulky won't go in. It interferes with their electronics. The breach. Our best conjecture thus far is that it is a forced relinking of the lattices underlying adjacent universes. The breach attractor, then, has some capacity to shift the points at which the lattices link. The region beyond the breach remains intact, as when the breach recedes, the atmosphere and surrounding ocean don't encounter a vacuum, blah blah blah. Outside of a breach elevator, passing through the breach can be fatal. The Sudrons use this as a makeshift shield to keep out intruders, or as in our case, to keep something else trapped in. But she has one, at least for now. I kind of want to rewatch the ending cutscenes. She seeks tech that will make Damu flesh and blood again, so she works with Drushka. I'm assuming that's the outsider? Let's go back there. Let's open plan B. My name is Jansaya Karshunova, but you can call me Drushka in cutscene 0046. What cutscene is that? Oh, the Konami code, right. Asenex had mentioned something about that in the first game. Hey, Amao, how's it going? It's been a while. This breach attractor is much smaller than the one Athetos has on the elevator at the end of Axiom Verge 1. Yeah. Yes, Chadwick. Alright, without horns answered you. Mal, what even is this game? You've seen me play it, but you never got to understand what it's about. It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, in many ways, it's your basic Metroidvania where you get power-ups and whatnot. But the lore for it is actually really, really intense. Kind of on par with the Dark Souls games. Basically, humans figure out a way to create a portal between dimensions. And they may have hit upon the Matrix in the process. It's kind of left up in the air. But maybe it gets all solved the deeper you look into it, but I'm not quite there yet. Tigris, you mentioned not using the Konami code in this game. Using it in the title will let you start a new game with the game's version of the passcode tool. What's the passcode tool even really do again? Don't let me input things, right? Oh, cutscene 001, 002. Okay, okay. Right, I was looking at the Drushka thing. Cutscene 0046. Let me look up that text. Where the hell is that? Oh, what the hell? Okay. So this is all extra lore? Hold on, I need to... I think I screwed that up. Passcode in the first game lets you reprogram some of the world. In this, it's just cheats. Extra lore? I'm not sure. We'll figure it out in a second. Hopefully. So this one's labeled globe and it's gray. Is this dude Warren? No, Stan. Okay. Wait, how do I use the passcode tool? Ah, sorry. That horns, you didn't have access to it after you beat this game for the first time? Let's see where that is. This does not help me whatsoever. Okay. Oh. (0046). Do we actually see this stuff? Oh, maybe that's how she introduces herself when we first see it. Wait, why are we walking? I broke it. Uh-oh, game's broken. Can I? No. Hey, Rat, how's it going? How goes the Axiom? We are trying to rediscover some of the lore. Which, it's got really good lore, which is cool. How goes things for you? I think after this I should go to the main menu. Replaying some of the cutscenes can break things? Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's try to go in here. Go back to the title, so I don't have to go through those cutscenes. I don't have it anymore. Not here, so I have to start a new game. It's kind of agonizing. I probably should have not done this until that dude stopped talking. Yep, okay, that broke it again. Ah! Gotta cycle through the menu 99 times to unlock the secret minigun? If only I knew that before! Alright, well anyway, I guess I'll just read it from here. My name is Jansaya Korshunova. You can call me Drushka. This is the emergence. Most of those from Sagimbayev station migrated here. You found evidence that the people in Keen Gear were not alone. Oh yeah, I got so distracted looking at all this stuff. I was trying to figure out what the deal was with people turning into the demons. What did the Lamasu say about them? It's got to be in the 60s, right? No, before this. You're just going to keep coming back, aren't you? Both Ama Shalama and what's her name keep coming back. Drushka took other Kazakhs through a breach into next world. Past the breach. Alright, I don't want to spend too much more time looking this up. So Tigris, can you save the humans if you speed run the game, or is it just normal facet of progression that they turn into the demons that you'd see in, or the demons like you would see in Axiom Verge 1? The big terminals that the Lamasu talks to you in a couple places. In Axiom Verge 1 in the final area, there's what looks to be a smaller one of those, but it's melted and damaged. I felt like the Lamasu thingies looked familiar. I don't know if I picked up on that from the first game, but they did stand out to me. That would make sense. She's strutting the hell out of that box. She is. I broke the game, Robbie. That's why it's weird. The NPCs can all be spared depending on your action. Speedrunning has nothing to do with it, though. Okay, okay. So is it probably just like breach contact and whatnot? Rat says we can't save the humans? Destroy all humans. The Protozodur are found in the camps of Keen Gear after they've come into contact with Indra after she traverses the breach. Each NPC can turn into a Protozodur after 120 minutes from the initial infection time. So that's the plague. Wait. I thought Trace got cloned multiple times, and that explained the demon things. No, so if the Sudrons were becoming infected by Athetos. Yo, what the hell was the original Trace thinking? What the hell was Athetos thinking? Was it intentional? Maybe it was unintentional, but it's annoying. We did bring the plague, apparently. If you're very careful to never touch the humans as the drone, and they'll never get infected. Oh. That might have some lore. She makes drones. This is where the Rusalki are. Anyway, let's theorize for a moment. There's a good spot. This is it. No, that's not it. Well, good enough. I'm like, why can't I go in? Because I'm not the drone. So in the breach areas, we have a lot of quote-unquote enemies from the first game, which don't get introduced as enemies. I'm trying to find a good one. Like the coral things. I don't think those ones are it. Now I'm wondering if this is where the first game takes place. The backgrounds do look decidedly more like the first game. Well, not like the actual backgrounds, I mean the foregrounds. Pixelation. What's all this thing? Athetos tells Trace he unleashed the pathogen on the Sudrons. He also specifically says he can't say certain things because Trace having certain knowledge will lead the Rusalki to kill him. Trying to remember where the non-hostile type of enemies were. Not everything Athito said can be fully taken to be the truth. I know what I'm thinking of. Thinking of the stuff over here specifically. By Drushka. Although, if that's where Drushka is, the emergence... Hold on. That might make the most sense. Was it all in here? Oh, yeah, I did want to look at that fly thingy again. So this would be the world of the first game. Ophelia does come here. Or not Ophelia, but Indra does come here. Because she goes to meet Drushka. So Keen Gear plus this place are connected. Those are Kazakhs. They spoke Russian. Because time flows differently, right? Okay. Perhaps, the Kazakhs are being attacked by their descendants? These things, yeah, okay. These are what I were talking about. Okay, so they were not in the breach. So contact with the breach might have brought an infection here as well, which caused this entire world to get messed up when Athetos comes in. But we already have a note from Trace. We're getting timey-wimeyed. We are getting timey-wimeyed. Drushka's appearance changes over the course of the game? I didn't remember her little tentacle thingies or her being that big. But I also didn't remember entirely what she looked like when we first pulled up here. I was surprised at these dudes looking humanoid. Or she old and in that kind of life supporty type machine? No, probably not. Rusalki are water demons, right? In real life mythology, folklore. Is the idea that they are literally the submarines? It seems kind of weird. Right, so we had all that. What the hell is this thing, though? We do never get over there. Why is this red? We can't hack it, so it's a bio thing. It's like the meme of the dude being like, is this a butterfly? Is this a submarine? Yeah, they're the angry water ghost ladies. When we first come here, she tells us that her people, the Russians, are over to the right past the impassable barrier in an area where time goes by faster, and she watches them evolve. Right, and now that we're able to get to the top, I thought this was a completely different dimension, but the weird thing is the breach connects in, and that breach goes to the right into the other world. This place is called Overworld rather than Emergence, though. That is not a submarine? That's how I would feel, yeah. Can't even hack it. Crazy Russians messing with nanites that they don't understand. Don't remember if we fight anything quite like this in Axiom Verge 1, unfortunately. The breach is understood to be parallel to all multiverses, right? So are these her people? This machine? Break it, the Matrix, with all the Russians inside? The Lamasu gives the Keen Gear weapons to fight the Udug, which are demons. So breach infections. Which is why he needs to kill us. The Lamasu might have said that we were infected when we first met him. Which is why I kind of wish the cutscene thingy worked. Yeah, having a text dump super handy would be nice. Which I could easily get one. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to piece everything together right now, obviously, but definitely very fun to think about. A lot more depth to it than I was expecting, even off the coattails of the first game. So, I've definitely enjoyed myself playing through Axiom Verge 2. I still feel kind of weird about the progression of the character and whatnot. Like, the drone felt a lot more useful to me, which might be by design, really. And I felt like the weapons... Yeah, maybe that's kind of the issue. The weapons just felt like we got too many and that they were at odds with each other in the human form. Or like the human form didn't have enough mobility to make me want to use it more than the drone. If a dog is the word for demon and Athetos clones call Trace demon, does that imply that Trace is actually Udug and not a human? Which Trace? Do you mean the Trace of the first game or actual Athetos? Because there were implications that Trace would also lose his mind and become an Athetos kill demon. Trace is a pattern mind that can safely traverse the breach, and the Udug are from the breach. So in a way, he's a faux Udug. Our Trace, not the original? Okay. Well, if you remember, there's that one cutscene where Trace, like, trips, metaphorically speaking, and tries to fight, like, a flying demon thing, or, like, he is the demon. To me, that indicated that he was just an algorithm, and he would turn into a demon if given enough time, and that the issue with the frailty of the human mind is that there's a kind of set limit to how much it can cope, and that once you get too old or whatever, your brain gets fried and you might turn into a Zedor. Yeah, the hallucination cutscene. That's how I took it. Maybe somebody else has a different perspective on it. Rat, your human mind ain't frail, hard as a rock. Trust. Anyway, folks, I've enjoyed Axiom Verge 2. I was not really trying to stall this much. This was kind of a semi-earnest attempt at looking at some of the lore and finding some of the secrets that we were missing, which is not very much to begin with. So anyway, Tigris and everybody else, thanks for joining me and giving me some more insight about the lore of the game. I appreciate that. Now that the spoilers have been taken off, I'm not 100% sure what I want to stream until like the 30th when Saros comes out. So we might do the Messenger starting tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll need to figure out what all else I'd want to stream instead. And if you guys have pretty easy suggestions, don't feel shy to let me know either in the comments or on the Discord. But unfortunately, Meow, I will not be playing Barbie Horse Adventure, whatever it's called. So that one is off the table. Chadwick, Mega Man X one day? Maybe. Destiny 2 is calling? No. No, man. Destiny 2 died for me, especially with the Star Wars stuff. I'm like, man, make Destiny Destiny, not Star Wars. Destiny 2 is already good enough. But I was fine with the final shape and where it ended. I felt like I got my money's worth. It's got to be a Baldur's Gate 3 neutral run. That was my first run. As far as Indra being able to traverse the breach as the drone, the community thinks that Damu might be the eternal arm and thus immune to the breach. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well, but like, why? I would kind of need to restart this game to figure out why we get reconfigured to begin with. Because don't we get Damu later than Amashalama? Like, why do we get reconfigured? Rat, you're an addict is all. It's got to be rough with the dwindling Destiny 2 numbers and the dwindling support, huh? Rat, have you looked into Marathon at all? Oh yeah, speaking of Destiny and whatnot, I don't know if you've looked into it, but Saros honestly gives me like a lot of third-person Destiny 2 successor vibes. Because I kind of feel like we're somewhat of an eternal arm with how we could come back from death. Seems like the nanite things that we have. Gonna hydrate while I wait for the replies. Right, you have played Marathon. You love the art, but you're not a big extraction shooter guy. Fair enough. Robbie, you might be interested in getting Saros. Robbie, do you have a PS5? I think it's only coming out on PS5, unfortunately, like not even PC. Well, it might come out on PC eventually, but fingers crossed. Yeah, so Seiros is like a spiritual successor to Returnal. At least in terms of gameplay, probably not so much the story. Which I wanted to play Returnal, but I just didn't get around to it. Only PS5, it's over for you? What do you mean? I thought you played Destiny on your PS5 a lot. Logos, you're also curious about Seiros? I am as well. It seems like there's more story to it than I was expecting based on some of the recent trailers and whatnot. But, okay, folks, I think I'll go ahead and call it here. Maybe I could try Returnal for the next 5 days. Maybe not. Okay, there we have Tickers. There's an implication that the 6 subs were used as base bodies for the 6 Rasalgi, heavily modified over centuries. That would make sense. But okay, folks, that'll be it for the streams of Axiom Verge 1 and 2, perhaps, until we get Axiom Verge 3, question mark. But yeah, I enjoyed myself quite a bit, so hopefully I'll catch you all on the next one, most likely at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as per usual. So until then, take care, stay safe. Last Protagonist out.